Hello. Um, it's ironic what I want to document and how I'm starting this because I am at a place where the curtains are usually drawn, and now that there's light, I'm just looking out over this land, and right before the video, I was just like, when is the right time to start? And like, just asking for guidance, and there really is no like perfect time to start because I'm gonna feel silly regardless for doing this. If anything, this is just something that I can look back on and take accountability for. And that's really the entire point of me making this. It's to be accountable, which I like in certain aspects, and then in times like this, it just gives me a pit in my stomach, but I know that it's for my good. When I first started to doubt the very existence of a creator, that filled me with fear. And yet, I wanted truth more than my fear. And so, I pursued truth. And in that, my thought was anything that gave me discomfort or was so against how I was brought up, then I need to lean into that. And in some aspects, that is true. And in some ways, I did grow from that. But I also grabbed a shovel as I was doing it, and I viciously attacked the ground, searching for real, searching for authenticness, for genuineness. And by the time I searched all that I thought that I could, when I thought I would be looking down at this hole that recovered some type of like, this is it, this is everything that you've been searching for, I instead looked up and I realized that I had dug myself into the hole, and it was pitch black except for just one small flame that I just could not accept as truth. In that time, since I was saying screw it to fear, I also said screw it to my fear of being known online. And I don't know why that terrifies me. I have some different ideas, but I don't know entirely why. It's really just fear of the unknown, fear of wanting to control. And you can't do that. Not online. And I'm gonna have to let that go to a point. I think there is some wisdom in knowing what to and what not to say. But when I know I should do something and I don't do it, it doesn't go away. No matter how far I push it down. That's when I really started making videos. I think my first video was that Peter Pan song, Lost Boy. And it was from a place where I did feel lost. Spiritually, I was just like, diagnosed with some stomach stuff, and it was during COVID. So like everyone almost felt lost. And no, like I didn't go viral. I that's never been my goal. It was the feeling that I had where it was like, yeah, that's good. It's good because I know I'm not the only one feeling this way. And I know I'm not the most worst off in feeling this way. There are so many that are so much worse than I. And I feel like an ungrateful brat when I think about that. Gosh. It's fear and it's laziness that I just stop. Even though in my own way I saw success from it and I got to talk with people I never thought that I would have the chance to, and people recognized me in a way that I didn't think possible, and I didn't even pursue it fully. I just pursued it sometimes. I think when I spoke with Tom McDonald after a video I duetted with him, it scared me. And then I had a talent agency reach out to me, and then that scared me more. And it was really from then that I just said, I don't know if it's worth it. And then that's so convicting because not only is that not true, but it's not all about me. I wrote a lot of stuff down, but there was one thing that I wrote in my haste of just trying to get it out of my head. And when I read it, I was just kind of grossed out by my thoughts. And I'll read it. If I don't do what I'm convicted of, I'm not content. I'm not meant to be content with and in fear. No matter how much I try to psychologically turn that very thing into a lie of I'm protecting myself or I'm being wise. If I'm fully being transparent, I feel like if nothing I deem of substance comes from my vulnerability, then it was a failure. And I should not have pursued it to start. I was listening to someone that I consider a friend talk about inadequacy today. I know that I'm adequate in the way that I've been equipped, in the way that I know that I've been given tone and melody and the ability to understand timing, musical things. And to a certain extent, I know that I've been equipped with stage presence. And sometimes I'm very confident in that, not in an arrogant way, but confident in what I've been given and using it well, using it justly and rightly. But then times like today, I feel inadequate. It is kind of a double-edged sword, in where if you feel adequate in something that you shouldn't, or maybe you arrogantly feel adequate, it's the same as humility, where as soon as you say, I'm humble, you're not. There's a song that we sang today where it says, sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody, louder than the unbelief. My weapon is a melody. And I know that to be true because I've seen it. It's just It's having the courage to even unsheath the sword and to defiantly stand against fear with your weapon in hand, ready to strike. I want to be brave. I want to be braver. And in order to do that, I have to be put in situations that cause me fear, that produce courage, like this. You know how I was talking about me being so deep in this pit from my arrogance and my pride and my bitterness and my anger and my atheism. All I saw was black. And I was like, I have dug myself too deep. And it's like, I know how to get out, but I don't even have the strength to raise my arms. I don't even have the strength to look up, man. And that's when I cried out. I had nowhere else to turn. And like an injured lamb, I just had to cry. Because I had made myself lost. And it was the first time that I did in 3.5 years. Prayed. Even tried to talk with God. Instead of what would have been so understandable in looking at me with pity and turning his back, he saw me broken and crying, and like a shepherd, like the shepherd that he is, he picked me up and he placed me on his shoulders and he just carried me away. He saw me in this darkness and he said so clearly, yeah, you can't get yourself out, but if you just take my hand, I'll not only lift you up out of it, I will fill it up and cover it completely. And that's what I want from this too. I want how I had this journey of finding truth no matter the cost. I want that same result from dying to fear, from prevailing fear. Because yeah, when it comes down to it, I just have a fear of being known. Known in a way that I'm not entirely comfortable with. So, all of that to say, this is accountability for me to upload music. And no, I'm not the best. I won't be the best. And that's okay. Because for some reason, I cannot shake this passion, this necessity. Honestly, probably nothing really will come from it. Not like virality or career or anything like that. I'm just here for the ride, man. And to just be faithful in that. Be faithful in what I've been given. And to be content in it. Because I'm doing what I've been told to do. I don't have a set schedule or anything like that. Literally, I just came home and I was like, I have to document this. Or I won't. Because we're done. I've set my heels in for so long. The impressions are so deep. But we're finally stepping out of that. And we are moving forward. Stagnancy, if that's a word, is a lie. And I've learned that the hard way. If you're still here, I appreciate it, but I understand if you're not. Maybe you're in the same boat as me in some other capacity. I don't know. But I hope for the few that are here, maybe I spoke something that is so hard to verbalize. Yeah, okay. Thank you.